Hi, it's Rachel. So welcome to number 2 in this series of something to do with living in a way that's sustaining. Yeah, cool. It's nice to be here. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for listening. It's really lovely to be with you, and I know you're kind of listening in the future and not live, but it's nice just to sense all the people that will be listening to it in the future, and to already feel you present with me here. So thank you for joining me, and yeah, just thank you. So it's kind of funny today. It feels like the theme for this session is something around the nature of you. And my head's rolling around in a circle because there's something also about this energy of circular, as in allowing everything to contribute, but sensing the circle, like, wow, sorry, there's so much information, and it's beautiful today in that it's part of the storm Dennis that's just been here. So it's windy, but we've had a lot of sunshine, and it's just coming to dusk. And it's a different time of day, so it's nice to be with nature at this time of the day and see what it's contributing at this time of the day and what it has for us today. So yeah, the nature of nature, I guess, and our nature. I'm just shown all the time the circle, really, and this is how I feel like it's inviting us to live in this way that's circular. It's like the sky rains, the rains comes into the lock and into the ground grows things grow up. There's things are always circulating, and there's something about the way that they circulate that's generative, like it's always giving, really. For me, the sense of lack or taking away, it's not real. Like, I understand it's a concept that I can see, but when I don't know, when I gosh, how to say, when I feel into that concept of lack or not enough, I can't believe it, actually, and sometimes I still function from it. Sometimes I might be like, oh, I don't know where the money's going to come from. But actually, when I sit with it, I don't believe it as a concept. I look at nature outside and there's no lack. It simply comes when it needs. The only time that we feel a lack is when we want something different than what we already have, or than what we already have, what's already coming to us. It's like, well, either we're not acknowledging what's already coming to us, or it's not the time for it to come and we don't trust and allow it to come. Like, everything comes when it's ready if we're open to it. And actually, it's our responsibility to be open. That's all our responsibility is, really, to be open, because things can't come to us if we're not open. Like the ground, it allows the rain to come. The sky, it allows the plants to grow. It doesn't stop them or contain them and say, oh, I'm not sure if you're growing in the right way. There's a sense of allowing and a sense of being open to allowing things to unfold however they do. which takes away the concept of there being a right or a wrong way for the ground to absorb the water, or a right or a wrong way for the plant to grow, or a right or a wrong way for the clouds to come, or a right or a wrong way for the wind to come. You know, in nature there's no such thing as right or wrong, and there's no such there's no such thing as lack. It's it's so abundant and so rich and so gracious. It's like really gracious. It's always giving. It's always giving. So the problem is never with what's out there, and it's never with what's being offered. Actually, the problem is always with us and how we perceive what's being offered, how we what's the word? Like, it's almost like compress what's being offered, so we don't allow enough room for it. How we stop what's being offered, how we limit what's being offered. And it's okay to do that, you know, to say, actually, I can't deal with that big waterfall right now. Like, I'd like it in a few drops, please. But if we don't acknowledge that, if we don't acknowledge, actually, it's me that's not open, it's me that's not ready, it's me that's not receiving that, then we continue to put the blame outside of us, or we continue to say that the universe isn't abundant, or life isn't abundant, or life isn't generous. But life is generous. Like, life is the ultimate generosity. Like, it's free, and it's all available. It's life contains everything. So there's everything in life. It's free to us, for us to receive exactly how we want, when we want. And so life doesn't have any restrictions. We have restrictions, and that's okay. And they're not good or bad either, and they're not right or wrong, because we've had experiences in life where, for example, we thought someone was giving it something freely, and then they wanted to take it back, or they wanted to hold us to something. Or we've had examples of when somebody gave us something in a way that we thought was loving and then was abusive. There's so many examples of where things have been sort of done this to. So they're given and taken back, and given and taken back, or they're given and then they're restricted, or they're given with a string attached to pull it out of our mouths when we're about to eat it. You know, so things have been given to us in ways that aren't natural, as in, yeah, ways that aren't natural, ways that have come from a construct of a way of being in a society or culture that believes in lack. But if we don't believe in lack, then we don't have to receive things in that way. And they may still be given in that way, because other people may not function the way that nature does yet. But that doesn't stop us from receiving them in a way that nature is, and for being gracious about that. And it also doesn't stop us from saying no to something, because we know it's being given in such a way that isn't the way that nature gives. But that also creates a stop. So it's interesting to look at these places where there's either a stopping or a limiting, or a pushing away, or a different kind of flow than the way that nature naturally flows. And again, there's nothing good or bad or right or wrong about those. It's just about being aware of them. Actually, okay, nature's generous, nature's benevolent, nature's offering me all. You know, that's the outside. Okay, here in me, what is it that I'm willing to receive? What would I like to receive? What would contribute to me? And that's part of the dance of being receptive to nature. But we can't be that receptive if we're not aware on that level. And we can't be receptive if we are apportioning a blame or a fault or a lack outside of us, because that's a lie. And if we buy into the lie and believe the lie, then we end up functioning within the lie. Cool. So it's kind of a nice practice to watch nature, ask nature to show you the nature of herself, of nature. My head's going round and round in circles again. And to watch the cycle of nature. Like, it's been really amazing to be here at Drumwell for 18 months now, but particularly over the last 12 months, I've watched her. And it's always perfect. She's always perfect in the way that she is. There isn't a like, there's this perfection in each moment, and each moment's different. And there's no expectation that each moment will be like any other moment. And that's the miracle of the beauty of it, you know. I look at the loch and the trees, and in every moment they're different, they're changing. In the wind, the loch has ripples. In the stillness, there's no movement on the loch, you know. And all of that is it's like the most amazing thing to be with and to learn from, like to really sit with and learn from. And what can you show me, and what else can you show me, and what else can you show me? And I'm not really getting that bit. How does that function? And how does that bit work? And really being willing to be teachable, and not have any preconceptions about anything. So just for now, putting down all the things I've been taught, all the things that I thought I used to believe, all the things that in my old way of living and my old lifestyle were quite present. They aren't quite present here, which makes it much easier for me to sit and tune into nature, because none of it's really present. You know, the buildings aren't present. There's literally only nature. The birds are here, the trees are here, the rabbits are here, the deer are here, the foxes, the badgers, the sheep, the Shetland ponies. They're all here. The wind is here, the rain is here, and everything is like vibrant here. It's alive here. The lichen grows on the trees. The air is clear. You can breathe. Everything's like intense. It's like everything's turned up and more alive here. And that means there's no getting away from that, really. It means that this is my environment, and by the very nature of us, we kind of settle into environments. We become one with our environment, and I guess we function in a similar way to our environment, and we can not do that. For sure, but it is easier when we're learning to be in an environment that is an environment that will help us to learn what it is that we're wanting to learn. And, you know, coming here to Drumwell, and this feeling of coming home wasn't just a feeling of coming home into myself. It was coming home to a way of living that I feel like I remember, like I've always known, like that is intrinsic and intuitive and part of the cells and aliveness of my being, which felt almost too alive for where I lived before. You know, I had more life than most people I knew and most of the places. I was more vibrant, more alive, more joyous. And it's like here, I don't think I could ever be too much or too vibrant or too alive for this place, because it has a level of aliveness that's, I guess for me, it's complete. Everything's here, everything's in it. And that's the level of aliveness that I want to have within me and within life. And I want to see in the world, you know, I want to see that level of aliveness of us being truly alive, fizzling in each of our cells, vibrant. You know, like kids have this so much joy and so much abundance and so much delight really at the world and at each little thing and the magic of those things, and how the universe is the most amazing thing that's gifting to them all the time, and they participate when they want to participate, and if they want to lie and collapse for 10 minutes, they lie and collapse, but they're following their intuition and they're interacting and dancing with the universe and with nature in a way that feels right to them before anyone taught them a different way. And you know, that's a beautiful gift to see. I love watching children, and I love watching the way, the curiosity and the way they explore things and the way they learn things and the way they discover things, and the way each discovery is like the most amazing thing that ever happened to them. And I think for me, having that wonder really helps me to be present and see the gift and the beauty in everything. And there is a gift and a beauty in everything, and that's our nature. I feel that's our nature, that we have this capacity to see the gift and beauty in everything. And if we don't add these grey colour spectacles on, then actually we can remain with that capacity to see the gift and the beauty in everything, and to see the possibility in everything, and to see how everything works perfectly, and to watch it with this wonder, with this awe, with this anticipation for what else it's going to show us or share with us. And living in that space is much more alive. I guess it is more vibrant. There's more aliveness to that. And I guess that's how I want to live, alive like nature. And that seems to be part of my journey here, and this place is showing me its aliveness, and I'm meeting it with my aliveness, and sometimes not meeting it because I don't want to. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna hibernate for a bit, and that's okay too, you know. But I'm learning my nature in the presence of nature, and over winter, the aliveness was quiet inside. You know, there was an aliveness that was dormant and quiet inside, and I had this real desire to do winter in a way that I've never had a desire. I've always tried to keep going through winter, but actually I had a real desire to be quieter, to go inward and to have my belly warm and to just enjoy the slowing down and inward nature, and knowing that I didn't need to know what would come next, and I didn't need to know when it would come next. And this feeling of being like a animal underground, warm and cozy, and being taken care of by nature until I was ready to come to life again. You know, that's what the plants are doing. They're conserving until they're ready to come to life again, and they're doing inward things, like they're fully alive. It's just that their life force is directed in another direction, and I could really sense that. I've never really understood that before, but living here this winter, I really understood that, and I was really able to follow that on a different level than I've ever been able to. And it was such a pleasure to not feel pulled by the external onward motion of I want to say, of society life, of the way, yes, we should be going to whatever parties or seeing family or busy or whatever, and actually I didn't have much desire to do that, and it's really nice to honor that inner desire, and find and follow my nature and discover what that is. And as I live here over the years, and I feel that we'll be here for many years, I will discover more about my nature, and about the nature of nature, and about the way that we can live together, in harmony as one, and as individuals, as Rachael, and as outside, as a tree, as the whole outside, the landscape, and as the individual parts of the landscape, and as the bits underneath the earth, and as the bits up in the sky, like I can interact with each of those ones separately, but also as a whole, the landscape. And also I am part of the landscape and part of all of those things. I can dance with them individually. I could dance with the stars, and dance with the trees, and dance and play with the block, one thing at a time, and play with the energy of that thing and how we can cycle together. And I can play with the whole landscape and how we can cycle together. And I feel this real sense of how we can cycle within ourselves just on our own, and then we can add something and cycle with that, and then we could add more things and cycle with that, and we could take some things away and cycle with those, and then we could add more things and cycle with those, and we could add everything and cycle with those. And on an energetic level, there's this ability to cycle with everything, with anything and with nothing, and that seems natural to me. Actually, it seems like one of the most natural things that I've remembered, and a real joy to explore and play with, and a real delight. Like, okay, I can cycle with the stars. Awesome, stars, wow. Yeah, how are stars? How do the stars and I play? All the time we're discovering, or I'm discovering these different relationships with these different aspects of nature, as it were, and discovering how I meet myself with those aspects of nature, and how those aspects of nature meet me, and what we are together and what we are individually. And I think that's a really nice thing to explore, because nature doesn't have any of these societal constructs that we've created, or cultural constructs, or religious constructs that we've created. It just is. And at the essence of us, we just are. And so by exploring our isness, if it was, with these things, then we can explore ourselves and those things and the isness that we create together. And that feels part, to me, of creating a sustainable way of living, and a sustainable life. If I can cycle inside myself, cycle with each thing I come, and the energy can flow freely, and then we can cycle as a whole, and then I can say, okay, I'm coming inward, I'm cycling with myself, and I'm aware of those things. And so there's this ability to flow and respond and add, and it's kind of take away, but not in the same sense. It's like add, and then what's the opposite? It's a bit like the tentacles of a jellyfish or something, or a breath, you expand, and then there's a sort of, maybe a condensing, I'm not really sure for the word, but there's an outward, and then there's a coming inward. I can add things and see how that feels, and I can come inward and take them away, but not in a way that takes anything away, just in a way that's like, okay, I'm just being aware that my boundary can expand to include everything, or it could just be me in the stars, or it could just be me in my body. And actually I can move between those really freely and fluidly in a beautiful dance. So that's part of all these things that are coming into my awareness as I live here at Drumwell, and as I ask nature to show me how to live with her, as her, to give her, as I respect her and ask her to show and teach me. These are the things that are coming. So I'm really happy to be able to share them with you, and I hope that they contribute to you in some way. And I would love to hear from you if you have some experiences and you want to get in touch. My name's Rachael Hattersley, and you can also find us at Drumwell, which is DRUMWHILL.com, or on Facebook. And we have like this beautiful space here too that you're welcome to come to. Yeah, it's still unfolding, and there's a cottage, and there'll be retreats, and there already has been a couple of retreats, and yeah, more, like it's saying, and there'll be more, and there'll be more. Yeah, I get there'll be more, you know. There will be more. So if this is something that you would like more of, then yeah, follow us or let us know, and let us know what you think to these. And I look forward to being with you at the next episode of living in a way that's sustainable, I guess. That's how I feel it is, living in harmony with nature in a way that's self-sustaining and creating yeah, anyway, so sorry, sometimes there's just not words for the things that nature's shown me yet, and hopefully at some point I will be able to translate all of the energies that I'm being shown. But for now, I'm just translating all the things that I can translate and putting them into words in the best way I can. But also, if you listen to this on an energetic level, and don't get too worried about the words, then often that's a really nice way to receive these and the information. Just let it sort of download and wash over you without particularly needing the words to be exact. Cool. Awesome. Nice to be with you, and thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.